Well, good morning, guys. This is Brian with Cliffside Outfitters. Glad to have you back with us. Today, well, let's put it this way. After a while, we're going to do a venison recipe. It's the middle of deer season. We've been in the woods, and we're going to enjoy some of the venison that we've harvested. Matt's harvested. So I was thinking of a recipe that I'm going to do after a while, and I started getting things together, and I realized that I'm out of my favorite venison seasoning. This is a venison slash steak seasoning. It's good on pork, but primarily we use this for venison, and it's a very well balanced seasoning that will be absolutely delicious on your venison. You know that I season my venison before I bread it, if we do that, and I would recommend that you use that seasoning this way. But this seasoning is good on steak, grilled tenderloin, just about any recipe that calls for venison. This seasoning will fit the bill. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix my seasoning, and you can use any kind of container that you like, but I prefer just a regular canning jar. This is a pint canning jar, and that's what we're going to put our seasoning in today. We can put a lid on it and we can shake it up. So the first ingredient that we're going to use today, folks, is going to be salt. And you can use pretty much any kind of salt you like. I've got just some kosher salt here, and that's what I prefer. But anything you like for this particular recipe. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of salt in my jar. Alright. Now the next thing that we want to get is black pepper. Any kind of black pepper or pepper of your choice. I have tried white pepper in this recipe, and it adds another layer of flavor. But I don't have any today, so we're just going to use our standard black pepper. So again, we're using 2 tablespoons of black pepper. See if we can get that in the jar without spilling it. Now, to that we're going to add some garlic powder. And we're going to add 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. 2 teaspoons. Now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Now the next ingredient is going to be smoked paprika. It's going to give it a little smoky flavor and spice it up just a little bit. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of this smoked paprika. And to be honest with you, I don't mind that teaspoon being a little heavy. Now the next thing we're going to add, I like to add some rosemary to my red meat. All I had this morning was regular rosemary, you know, looks like a little pine needles. I didn't have ground rosemary. If you're making this recipe, it's fine if you use just regular rosemary and you throw it in there. However, for even distribution, I like to use ground rosemary. So I got out the spice blender and we hit the button. And we ended up with ground rosemary. So let's add 1 teaspoon of this ground rosemary. just to reiterate, if you don't like rosemary, don't add it in. But I think if you give it a try in this amount, it's not very overpowering, and it adds some depth to the flavor of whatever you're cooking. The next thing we need to do, put the lid on and shake it up. Now you can see that this is a small batch. You can double, triple, quadruple this recipe. Make you a big old jar of this seasoning because you're going to want more of it, I guarantee you that. But you make you a big old jar of this seasoning. When you're getting ready to do those venison steaks, sprinkle it on there. Experiment a little bit with how much you put. I like to put about somewhere around a small steak, I'll put a teaspoon. Split it up half and half on each side, but you experiment with it. You're probably going to want more than that, to be honest with you. But make up some of this seasoning. I guarantee you, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to impress your friends. Until next time, this is Brian with Cliffside Outfitters. Y'all have a good day.